All right, so this is the walkthrough of Syllabus and Canvas for Interactive 1 online for the fall 2024 semester. You will get a copy of the syllabus, and I ask that you read through it. I know every teacher asks you to read through it. We will kind of skim through the information, and I'll pause to spend more time on areas that I think may be more of interest to you than others. So, as you may know, classes start today, Monday, August 19th. They go through December 14, 2024. I've included my contact information up here. So I have my university email, my Google Voice number that you can text. I have a link to my virtual office hours. When you click that, it'll open up my scheduler and you can book times on Tuesday, Wednesdays between 6 and 7 p.m. Mountain Time. I have time slots in 15-minute increments. If you need more, just go ahead and book multiples. I do not mind. When you do book the sessions, please tell me what class you're in. So I'm teaching a couple classes this semester, so it's helpful if you let me know which class you're in. And then tell me, how can I help? So, like, what information are you looking for? That way, if I need to prepare for our office hour session, I'll know ahead of time what I need to look for so that I come to the office hour session with what you need. All right, so I'll go back to the syllabus. I have my portfolio there, my LinkedIn. I'm very easily Googleable because my name is quite unique. So I will kind of breeze through these first sections. So what's important here is probably a course logistics. So I set up my semester in 2-week chunks. So every 2 weeks, I open up a module, and that module will have all the information you need to be successful for those 2 weeks. So it'll have an agenda, which is my note to you at the beginning of that 2-week module that outlines all the things that you need to do and learn. It'll have links to your readings and any videos that are needed. So that's where you want to start every 2 weeks when that module opens up. Every once in a while, if there's something urgent, I will send over communications via the Canvas announcements. So make sure you have notifications turned on. If there are due dates, not if there are due dates, there are due dates for my assignments. Those due dates, the assignment must be in by midnight that day. So if it says August 22nd is the due date, then it's August 22nd at 11:59 p.m. It's always midnight, and trust me, I am not waiting up when you submit those. So there's a little bit of a grace period. Just make sure that they're in by midnight. You can always upload an updated version of your assignment for grading. All right, so we've got some required materials. So we've got Figma. Figma is a very popular industry software that we're using right now. It's going to be used for creating presentations, creating flowcharts, wireframes, or app sketches. You'll make your designs in Figma. You'll also prototype in Figma. So there's a lot of stuff in there. And because it's something that we're using in the industry, I think it's good practice for you to learn here in the interactive media program. You'll also need Adobe Creative Cloud. So chances are you already have this set up from some of your other classes. If not, you can click that link in the syllabus to go to a how-to page on the CU website so that you can request the license and get that set up. You will also need WordPress for this site. It's one of your first assignments to set up a free WordPress portfolio website. You will be loading a lot of your projects to this public-facing website. And the objective of having this website is so that you can start building your online presence as soon as possible. So your work will be, indexed by search engines, and your project information will just be easy to find and to reference, especially when you start looking for internships or jobs. It's great to build your portfolio as you go. It is a hard lesson to learn once you get started working to keep that portfolio updated. So we're going to do it as we go in Interactive 1. If you continue on with me for Interactive 2 and 3, make sure you keep your WordPress site and you don't archive it or delete it, because you're going to continue loading your assignments to that website in my future classes. All right. You'll also use open broadcasting software to record your video walkthroughs in your video presentation. So you use this to record and to be able to show this like split screen view like what I have here, except the view that you will have will be your prototype, or like a presentation slides behind it. So hardware, this is in line with what CU Online requires. So you need to have a laptop or a desktop with access to internet. You need design software since you're in the design program. You'll need a webcam, to record your presentation videos. And I would prefer, but it is not required, that you have reliable access to a mobile device, so like a cell phone, a smartphone preferably, and that it is either running Android or iOS. So Android is the Google operating system, iOS is the Apple operating system. You will need that phone to view your mobile app designs on a mobile device, and then you'll also need that phone to test out prototypes, so like to tap through it and make sure all the links and buttons work as you've designed it. So that's the primary reason, and it's also handy for all the other things that cell phones are handy for. Okay, so reading materials. I've tried to keep this as low cost as possible. Most of these are free, so everything that says free next to it's obviously free. The basics of user experience design. This is actually a pretty quick read. I'm going to say you can finish it in about an hour, if you just grab a cup of coffee and you're waiting, in between classes. It's a pretty fast, easy read. Not extremely technical. We go through more like technical design materials and theories when we're actually in the module itself. So this is just meant to give you like a brief overview and not to overload you with a lot of reading. If you prefer to take, the approach where you read a little bit as needed, that's how I've broken it up in the syllabus. So you're in luck. But if you want to work ahead and just read the thing in an hour, you are completely welcome to do that. And that way you can skip any of those supplementary readings during the semester. You will use the library at the Auraria, Higher Education Center, and I think they are kind of like revamping some of the library materials and journals that are available to you, but you'll definitely need access to those for your projects that you'll be submitting this semester. You'll also read through Atomic Design, so you can purchase the book if you prefer, but all of the materials, the book, the ebook version, is online completely free. So you don't have to buy the book unless you really prefer paper at that point. You will also read through the Google Design Sprint Kit. That's just a website, as well as the Apple Human Interface Guidelines. That is a reference site to help you design Apple products. So digital product. Well, I guess there's more than digital, but we'll be focusing primarily on the digital design aspect of it. I've got some additional books here. You do not have to purchase them for class, but if you like the materials in class and you want more information, or if you want some reading to do while you're on break, these are a couple of books that I recommend, along with websites as well. All right, so some of the important things for class is the grading breakdown. So here I show the different projects you'll be working on, as well as how they are weighted. So you will have individual term paper that only you author, and that is due during finals week, and that's worth 40% of your grade. So it's a huge chunk. I would suggest, of course, as every teacher would, getting started with it early, perhaps putting together an outline, getting some initial thoughts out on paper, doing a couple drafts of it, getting feedback from the writing center before submitting that during the final week of class, because it's due finals week, so there's not a lot of time for rework. So if you're looking for feedback, if you want a gauge of where the grade may lie if you submit it as is, then you'll want to get that to me sooner so that it's available for rework if you need to do that. So the individual term paper is 40% of your grade. Your big design project for the semester is the group design project. So you will be working on a mobile app design, and you'll be working with a design group of folks who are working on a similar theme as you are. And this is all self-directed. You will choose your own app feature that you're designing, you will be connected with people who are working in the same theme, and there will be a mix of deliverables that are that the individual will be graded on, and then there are other deliverables where the group will be graded on that. So there isn't really an elegant way for anyone in the group to tank the group grade. Um, the group deliverables are more about stitching together the work that's been done by the team members that have been actively participating in the group. So if there's issues, feel free to reach out. We will get more into those details here in a moment. But the way that the project has been broken up, on my end, makes it very difficult for the group to be affected by one person's lack of participation. So that should be a little bit different than some of how your other group projects may have gone in the past. So we also have finals week. So finals week, the work that I have you submit during finals week is worth 20%. And that's outside of the term paper. So there's a few small like career development projects that I provide to close out the class. We also have discussion posts. These are not as regular as they have been in semester past. I will be using them selectively throughout the semester to check in on progress and for knowledge sharing purposes, but that's a smaller chunk of your grade. Here I've got this lovely table that shows the breakdown of grades. So C's get the degrees for the CAM digital design program. So C minus does not. So you want to make sure that when you close out this class, you are above 74%. If you are not, you will have to retake the class in order to graduate from the digital design program. So whether that's your certificate or your degree, all of the classes you take in your major need to be at a 74% or higher. I provide extra credit. I allow students to rework and resubmit their projects so long that they've submitted the initial assignment on time. So I would say it's fairly difficult to get below a C in my class, but it does happen. It usually happens for folks who kind of like disappear and then just show up during finals week. So make sure you stay on top of your work. If you need more clarity as to my feedback and my direction, how to help bump up those grades, feel free to set up office hours with me or send me a message through Canvas and we can troubleshoot. And then you'll see all the links that we have there. All right, so I think I've talked about some of these projects. Part of your mobile app design project is also completing a usability research report. So you'll just be testing your designs out with a group of people who may use your product in real life and get feedback from them, and then you'll report out your findings. So that's what that is. But everything else I think I've talked about. All right, so I touched a little bit on late work and absences before, but I will go into just a little bit more detail here. So I have due dates obviously on my assignments. My preference is that you turn them in on time. I provide a grace period of 3 days where you're not penalized for turning in late assignments. After 3 days, your maximum grade for your project will be 75%. So 75 is equivalent to the 100% if you had turned it in on time. So everything is deducted based starting at 75 instead of starting at 100%. So if you can avoid being late without telling me, my preference is that you let me know as soon as you know that you're going to need extra time to complete an assignment. So you can go into Canvas, into that specific assignment, create a submission that says that you need additional time, and you can provide a reason and documentation for it. From there, make sure you also let me know by when you think you can have the assignment ready. That way I can actually go back and take a look and grade your project so that you have feedback to move into the next phase of your project. I don't want you to have to rush to get in projects just for the sake of hitting a deadline. I would prefer that you take the time you need to create a really good design project. And I know that deadlines sometimes feel arbitrary. These are meant to keep you on track because we've got 17 weeks together. And if you procrastinate a lot, then putting things off to the last minute will, be to your detriment. So these deadlines are in place to help keep you on track and to help you balance your workload throughout the semester. But, here and there, if you need additional time, please let me know, and do that through the assignment itself. Just create an assignment submission that just tells me that you need more time, provide reasons and documentation, and let me know by when you will have your assignment for grading. All right. So I talked about the module, so we'll skip there. Okay, let's take a look at this class schedule. So we've got 8 modules plus finals. So we've got a 17-week semester. One of them is finals week, and one of them is fall break. So we have 15 weeks to split over 8 modules, give or take. So I've broken them up for you here, and in this table I show you what week numbers we're in for the class, as well as the first Monday date of those modules. So we are at August 19th. This module runs through the end of the week of August 26th, so that's September 1st, because the next module starts on September 2nd that you can see here. Okay, so in our first module, we are learning about UX, kind of getting a crash course into an introduction as to what the discipline is. You will read through the project requirements for the mobile app and pitch an idea in the discussion post. And you will use the discussion post to read through other student ideas to see if there are similarities or themes that are related to one another, so that you can work together as a group throughout the semester. From there, after your discussion post, by the end of the week, I want you to go ahead and commit to a design group, and you will do that in a self-service tool that exists in Canvas. So you'll just drag your name into one of the design groups, and I'll go in and start naming them as soon as I start seeing some themes in our discussion posts. You will look through the team contract because by the end of the second week, so by September 1st, you should have the team contract submitted to me as a group. And that will outline what your working arrangement looks like, when you plan to meet, contact information for everyone in your group, how you're going to handle conflict resolutions, things like that. So you'll want to look through that team contract, at least in the first week, so you get a sense of the type of information you need to load in. You will set up your WordPress site. So again, that's your portfolio site throughout Interactive 1, 2, and 3. And there are directions that will be provided in the assignment. You will start kicking the tires around on Figma, just opening it, taking a look at what the software is capable of doing. Perhaps watching a couple tutorial videos to get yourself familiar with the software. You will also register for the free online version of Adobe Max. That's their online, that's their conference that they run every year. They have an in-person conference that costs a lot of money, and it's in Miami, so we're not going there as a group for class. But they have a selection of sessions that are recorded or live broadcasted during that week, and you will register for the free online version of that, so that you can reference some of those videos and potentially complete some extra credits if that is something that you're interested in. And then I've got some reading for you here, which is reading through the requirements for the term paper for the mobile app, as well as that first chapter in that free book I have provided. Okay, so in Module 2, you will work with your group on a design proposal deck. And this will include putting together things like your problem statement, the sources and citations, because you're not born with all this information in your head. You've obviously found it from somewhere else, so you need to make sure to cite those sources. You'll create a UX flowchart, which kind of maps out the way that your different features will work. You will come up with those features that you're going to build, and then you'll also create a competitive analysis, and you'll do that as a group. I've provided a template for you to work from to help reduce some of the questioning as to what is Amara expecting out of this deliverable. Hopefully that template helps get you all quickly on your way to creating some good design work. And then we've got some reading there too. We also have a holiday module 2, which is Labor Day. It's the first day of the module. Some people use it to catch up. Some people use it to vacation. That's fine. It's up to you. You'll just work with your group to schedule around that in case folks are out of town. All right, so we have module 3. Module 3 is your design exploration phase. So you will create some low fidelity designs, some wireframes or some sketches of what your app will do and what it will look like. From there, you will move into design production. So after you create the initial sketches of your design, you'll start layering in the visual look and feel. And this is where you'll pull in the style kit or the components library of Apple, the latest version of Apple iOS. So we will have components that are pre-designed for you to help you assemble your designs, and it'll be up to you and the group to determine, the colors that are used, any logos, any like navigation elements or icons that you want to use. You can use this time to really like personalize the design kit to what your needs are, but you will use this design kit to build the structure so that all of the padding is correct and the spacing, is proportional, and it meets their requirements. All right, in module 5, you'll continue working on the high fidelity designs, except you will start more closely working with your design group to make sure that there's consistency across all of your designs. That way, when your work is prototyped and linked to one another, they all kind of look, feel, and behave as one unified app, even though all the designers worked on really specific features within that app. And you'll continue that through module 6. In module 7, you will work on user research. So this is where you will recruit folks to provide feedback, very structured feedback on your app, and to walk through it. You will put together a study plan and implement that study plan, and then create a report of your findings. In module 8, you will create your video presentation of your work, and you will create and write your case study that will be published to your website. And then we round out with finals week, and we've got our LinkedIn profile that you're going to create or update with the information and projects you've kind of gathered throughout the class, as well as submitting your design report that we mentioned is your term paper that's due. All right, so that really walks us through the schedule and the syllabus. I'm going to move over to Canvas here in this other tab. So once you sign into Canvas, the first screen that you'll see for Interactive 1 is the module view. And this is where you will go to find all the information you need for for those 2-week modules. So in our first 2 weeks of class, here are the links that you need to look through. This is a combination of things for you to read and assignments for you to submit. So every module will have the agenda. It'll always be the first link in the module. And when you click through to it, you will see all the information you need for those 2 weeks. So I'll explain what it is we're going to be learning, what it is, what part of the project you're working on, give you details on that. And then also provide links to any of the reading and video materials, if any are there for that module. And then underneath the modules, I will always have important links available. This will end up being repetitive based on these links will also live in different modules as well, but I just wanted like one consolidated place to have all of that information, since there's no like global search bar in Canvas for some reason for the class. So you'll see links to the course syllabus, link to office hours. We've got the project brief that gives you the requirements for the mobile app design. We've got the team contract, proposal worksheet, mobile app template, et cetera, et cetera. All right. I think that's enough to get you started. Make sure you read through that mobile app design brief as well as the term paper brief, and let me know if you have any questions. If I start getting multiple questions, like the same questions multiple times, you may find that I'll just record an answer or send out an assignment with that answer, not to like put you on blast or anything. It's really just to make sure that everyone has the same answers so that everyone can like move on and start working on their projects. Usually I find that if like a couple students have the same questions, it's because I was not as clear as I should have been in those assignments. I think that's enough to get you started. I hope to hear from you soon. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me on Canvas via the messages, or set up office hours if you need some more detailed, like one-on-one time. Otherwise, I hope you have a fantastic first week or two of class. Yeah. All right. Stay safe. We'll see you next time.